his role shadowing justice. So I spent about 6 months shadowing the justice role. One of the first things that we did actually is we went into Petite France, into the MOJ building there, and sat down with officials and talked really frankly about what they had been tasked to do, the level of budget they were being asked to take out. And you remember Ken Clarke had just been appointed. And we sat down and we worked through the figures and we said, hang on a minute, there's something that happens 2 years in, 3 years into this budget, whereby if you're not going to get the savings that you want, you're going to start doing some pretty crazy things, aren't you? And in all honesty, the officials around the table, as frankly as they could, didn't dissuade us from the suggestion that we were making. That actually things would become more unwieldy as time went on, and if they couldn't get the level of savings that they wanted to do. And so when Graham was appointed, I began to understand the significance of what was about to happen. If you read this consultation document, if you read actually the level of detail they've gone into, I mean, even for this government, it goes much, much further in terms of the realms of fantasy than any other piece of consultation work that I've seen. It reads like a special advisor has come up with it on the train. And yet this is how we're going to approach the management of risk in our community. We can talk, and Kelvin did brilliantly, about what happens when you take 70-80% of the service and you stick it in the private sector. Early on you can get savings, but in the long term we know exactly where that's going to go. That's going to go to more and more private profit being taken out at a greater cost. We talk about the fact that in these plans, each individual that you are tasked with managing, either because you've been transferred over into the private sector or because you're with the rump which